Hi, guys. Welcome to Parawoman Radio. I'm Amy. Vortex, triangles, vanishing ships, and planes. Oh my. We've all heard the Bermuda Triangle, but did you know there are mysterious hotspots all over the globe? From the mysterious Michigan Great Lakes Triangle to the polarizing Alaskan Triangle and the lesser known Sea Triangle. These areas are covered in mysterious triangular vortexes where ships, planes, and people disappear without explanation. Well, some believe in paranormal explanations. Most attribute the disappearances to natural causes like unusual weather patterns and human error. Tonight on Highly Strange Days, we're setting sail straight into these mysterious vortexes. So join us as we explore these strange triangular energy spots that are scattered all over our amazing globe. I'm going to roll some credits. Shout out to the replay crew. Hey, have you ever gone over any of these vortexes? And if you have, put your experience down in the comments down below. Hey guys, welcome to Highly Strange Days. I'm Amy.
And I'm Shannon.
Angel flew down to a tiny house on the edge of the hill. Ain't no garage.
Hey guys, welcome to Highly Strange Days. I'm Amy.
Or a swimming
And
pool. Just a sad old friend who thinks he's cool. Angel knocks twice. She says, let me in. And then his withered old face says, where have you been? Where have you been? She says, hello. Aren't you tired of this? Tired of being here in the dark like this? Like this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Highly Strange Days on the Parawoman Radio Network. We have a special edition. We're doing it on a Monday instead of a Sunday. And with me, I have my amazing co-host, Shannon. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Amy. Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good for a Monday.
Yeah.
I guess a Monday is just like any other day to me. So I guess I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, I can't complain. I've had a lot of fun researching this topic because I've always kind of been interested in the Bermuda Triangle. And when I was interested in the Bermuda Triangle before, I found out that there was the Michigan Triangle. And it's just all very interesting to me.
Yes. Yeah, I was very excited to hear that we had a Lake Michigan triangle up here because I'm about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour from Lake Michigan.
Yeah, you're not far from that triangle.
No, I'm not. So that's kind of cool.
It is. It is.
Spooky.
Okay, let me get our screen together. While I'm doing that, be sure to give this live a thumbs up for us. Go out into the algorithm, party out there, bring more people back to the party. It's just a free way to help us out, and it's really, really appreciated. Tonight, we're coming to you on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So, hi, everyone.
We're on Twitch. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're on Twitch. We're often on Twitch. I throw it to Twitch. Yeah, usually Sunday nights. I don't know why I almost like tonight we're Monday. It just feels off tonight a little bit. So yeah,
It does. It's weird, but it's okay
it's okay.
because we're all about the weird.
Yeah, it's strange. And weird. Okay, so we hit 6K over on YouTube. Woohoo! And now we're actually up to 6,100 already. So
Oh wow.
yeah, we're just cooking along over on YouTube. And so hi to everybody. Welcome to everybody. And all right, so So I was like, what is it about these triangles? What, like I know they're vortices. Because have you ever been to anything like this? I went to when I lived in Michigan when I think I was 16 or 17 years old, and I was doing this meditation every Wednesday. I went to this meditation thing, and they had this thing where this woman said she had these vortexes on her farm. And so there was this whole thing that we all went out to the vortexes. And so I knew it was like a vortex thing. Have you ever heard of vortexes or visited any vortexes or?
Well, I think that we experienced vortexes on that other farm when we were ghost hunting. Don't you think?
Which farm?
The one that was out by Reading.
Oh.
Don't you think that there was vortexes there?
Yeah, that was a weird farm, wasn't it?
That was really weird.
Probably
But
so.
that's probably about it.
Yeah. So these vortexes, because I just like, what are the vortexes? The vortexes like the Bermuda Triangle, the Devil's Sea off the coast of Japan, the Michigan Triangle in Lake Michigan, and the Alaskan Triangle are often referred to as the paranormal. So I thought what we would do is we would go, vortex by vortex and look at them. So let's kick it off with the most famous one, the Bermuda.
Ooh, very cool.
Okay, do you want to read tonight?
Sure, I'll read. Okay. Let me get it bigger. Okay, what I'm seeing is the Dragon's Triangle or the Devil's Sea.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Sorry. Let me move that down. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, 6 prevailing theories on the Bermuda Triangle. How exciting. Okay. In the last century, numerous ships, small boats, and aircrafts have purportedly vanished within the infamous Bermuda Triangle, or as some call it, the Devil's Triangle. The boundaries of the triangle cover the
I just want to stop you really quick. We're going to be talking about the Devil's Triangle tonight, which is the Bermuda's Triangle, and the Devil's Sea, which is something different, just so you guys know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the boundaries of the triangle cover the Straits of Florida, the Bahamas, and the entire Caribbean island area, the Atlantic east to the Azores. Dating back to Christopher Columbus's voyages, he had logged about bizarre compass bearings in the area. The region got its name when Vincent Gaddis coined the term Bermuda Triangle in a cover story for Argosy magazine about the disappearance of Flight 19. While the area is one of the world's most heavily traveled shipping lanes, many theorists have tried to explain the unusual disappearances at its borders. Here are 6 theories you won't find on your boat safety course exam. Number 1, a time vortex. Albert Einstein postulated that a curvature of space would cause the light to bend through it. Some theorists believe that time, as a force in nature, can also be warped based on your location. The Bermuda Triangle is one location on Earth where the fabric of time is so thin that travelers can slip through it and emerge on the other side of a completely different time. This theory was solidified in 1970 when Floridian pilot Bruce Jernan Jr., his father, and friend Chuck Lafayette were flying towards Bimini Island in the Bahamas and noticed a strange elliptical cloud, which he later called electronic fog, hovering only about 500 feet above the ocean.
Let's skip over and see why the story doesn't add up. But I didn't mean to go so far, but let's try to paraphrase a little. So, because we've got so much we've got to cover tonight that we're not going to be able to get it all.
Okay. All right. Well, it says No theory has negated what Bruce saw, but a fascinating and detailed analysis explains the science behind Bruce's flight. Report attributes his experience is due to a sunspot number of 84 and a large solar wind of 706 kilometers, which created a disturbance of the magnetosphere and energy flux transfer directly into the atmosphere. This caused not only his compass to go haywire, but can also account for the warping of the fabric of space he witnessed.
So, but he said upon entering the cloud, he witnessed an uncanny spectacle, and he said it was dark and black within the rain, and visibility was bad. That only extraordinary bright white flashes that would illuminate the entire surrounding area. The deeper he penetrated, the more intense the flashes became. So he made a 135 degree to turn left and headed south of the cloud. So do you think that alone would have made things go haywire?
Yeah, I think that could have done it. Especially, if there was a solar flare. Was there a solar flare?
Yeah, he said it was a solar flare, and he said solar flare and large solar wind and disturbance. So, I mean, no, they said that's what they said. It didn't add up. Okay, got it. I wish I was a scientist. I really do. If there's any scientists out there, does it add up or doesn't it? Do you think it adds up?
I mean, it sounds like to me, number 2, aliens.
Aliens,
But
yeah, it's all aliens.
I don't know
That's
enough about
always swamp
science
gas.
to.
Swamp gas.
Yeah. The existence of so number 2, the theory is a mysterious third dimension created by unknown beings has been speculated by some Bermuda Triangle theorists. UFO enthusiasts argue that the triangle is a stargate that extraterrestrials use for intergalactic travel. I can see that. Many believe that Flight 19 may have been swept into this UFO portal. The weather that day was clear, and the flight was unsupervised or was supervised by an experienced pilot. All of a sudden, he made the pilot made a radio call saying, "We are entering whitewater. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green, not white."
Huh.
And it was also said the Navy Board of Inquiry stated the planes flew off to Mars.
How did they know they flew off to Mars?
We're
out of here. We're going to Mars. We don't like this Earth planet. We're going to Mars.
Yeah. Lieutenant Taylor, who was flying the plane, was unfamiliar with the area and was actually 50 kilometers off course. He had a history of getting lost, allegedly having done so 3 times during World War II and being forced to ditch his planes twice into the water.
Wah, wah.
Well, okay, so not aliens. Although it still could be, just because it wasn't in this case.
Well. Oh, now we're going to highway to hell.
Oh, dear. Okay. So some Christians consider the Bermuda Triangle as the gateway to hell, hence the name Devil's Triangle. Why the theory doesn't add up? Let's not touch this one.
Okay, let's not touch that one. Oh, I wanted to say that. Why is there so many? Like, there's the Devil's Triangle, or the Devil's Sea, the Devil's Triangle. Like, they do like to name things that they think are bad devil.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, historically, if humans can't explain something, it gets blamed on God or the devil. So
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
it's called God of the Gaps. That's the term for it. Okay, number 4, the lost city of Atlantis. Ooh. Some believe that the mythical lost continent of Atlantis once lay deep beneath the Bermuda Triangle. An American psychic named Edgar Casey claimed to be able to channel answers to questions about Atlantis and documented many readings about the lost city between 1924 and 1944. He said that the Bahama Banks were the last part of Atlantis to sink. In one of his transcendental readings, he also mentioned an island, Bimini. Here lay a trail of energy crystals once used to fuel the city. These electromagnetic forces were said to be able to cause interference with airplane and ship electronic systems, causing them to vanish. In 1968, scuba diver J. Manson Valentine, a proponent of the Atlantis theory, discovered a series of laid stones at the bottom of the ocean that appeared to form a road, thus proving the existence of Atlantis. If only he had taken a picture. Why this theory doesn't add up? Can you scroll? Thank you. For many reasons, this theory doesn't add up. However, Valentine witnessed an underwater rock formation near North Bimini Island in the Bahamas called the Bimini Road. The submerged rock formation known as the Bimini Road off the island of Bimini in the Bahamas is considered part of the triangle by some definitions. However, geologists consider this formation to be of natural origin. Well,
Do you believe in Atlantis? Do you think it ever?
No.
No, you don't believe in Atlantis?
No, I don't believe in Atlantis. But couldn't that road have been established, like, if the water level was ever lower in the past?
Yeah,
You
for
know?
sure. And they've proven that, like, I think, or I don't know if they've proven, but weren't all the continents pushed together at one point. So I mean, it would be very easy for
Yeah, absolutely.
things to be connected in roads and
Mm-hmm. Ocean flatulence. I'm sorry. I have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old boy.
I like bathroom humor too. So it's a Gen
Long
X
ago,
thing, I think.
yeah, I think so. Long ago, a freighter ship carrying thousands of barrels of beans and lentils spilled deep into the ocean floor of the Bermuda Triangle, causing the area to have a permanent case of gas every so often, unleashing its smelly odors into unfortunate ships.
This is the one that I've heard the most
and
about.
airplanes that come near
I
it.
didn't know it was smelly though.
However, it has been proven that there are pockets of methane gas, known as methane gas hydrates, beneath the ocean floor that could erupt if there is too much internal pressure or in the event of an underwater landslide or seismic wave. Some scientists have suggested that these pockets of trapped methane gas exist deep beneath the surface of the Bermuda Triangle. Periodic methane eruptions have caused this area to expel great quantities of trapped methane, causing ships to lose their buoyancy and sink. If enough of the flammable gas bubbled to the surface and traveled high in the air, it could potentially stall an airplane engine or even be ignited by an engine spark. Why this theory doesn't add up? Scientists from the United States Geological Survey have found large stores of underwater hydrates worldwide. However, no large releases of glass hydrates are believed to have occurred in the Bermuda Triangle for the past 15,000 years.
Maybe it's not gases that I've heard about. Maybe it's I don't know what I've heard. It's something sucks the boats down. I don't know.
Could it be a comet?
I don't know. Let's see.
Well, the Bermuda Triangle region is one of the two places on Earth, the other being the Devil's Sea off the coast of Japan, which has a similar mystery attached to it, where true north and magnetic north line up, which could result in questionable compass readings. Some theorists believe that 11,000 years ago, a comet crashed to Earth and landed on the ocean floor of the Bermuda Triangle. Believing that this comet may have strange electromagnetic properties, it could disrupt compasses and other navigational tools. Why this theory doesn't add up. Compasses have natural magnetic variations in relation to the magnetic poles, a fact that navigators have known for centuries. Magnetic north and geographic north are only exactly the same for a small number of places. For example, as of 2000 in the United States, it is true for only those places on a line running from Wisconsin to the Gulf of Mexico. However, the public may not be as informed and think there is something mysterious about a compass changing across an area as large as the triangle, which it naturally will. Other theories for disappearance in the Bermuda Triangle have included pirates and government testing. Today, the most likely explanations are human error, poor weather conditions, and unfit vehicle operation conditions. But who doesn't love a good conspiracy theory?
Swamp gas. What they always like to do. Swamp gas.
Weather balloons.
I thought it was interesting too. When I was doing my research, somebody over on Reddit, it's like, why don't we hear anything disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle anymore? I was like, yeah, why? And it said, and this person says, look at it like this: the Bermuda Triangle is effing huge and also has a history of heavy ship traffic and is generally in the area where most Atlantic hurricanes form and transit. Also, until fairly recently in history, once a ship left port, it was very difficult or impossible to communicate with them. So lots of ships, dangerous water, huge areas, and lack of word from ships going missing led people to believe there was something supernatural going on when there wasn't.
Okay.
So
Yeah, my sister said something similar this morning. She said, it's one of the biggest areas, shipping lanes, and with the amount of traffic that goes through, if one or two disappear every now and then, of course it's going to seem like a lot.
yeah, I found this is huge. Somebody's on a boat on the Bermuda Triangle, and this is what it looks like out there. If
Oh,
you're
wow.
curious.
Is that supposed to be the white water?
The white water. I don't know. This is the Bermuda Triangle. They're on the Bermuda Triangle. It's a boat on the
Okay.
Bermuda Triangle. Just if people
All
want
right,
to know
all
what it
right.
looks like out there, there it is. It's beautiful, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Really
too.
much
Very
into going
lovely.
on boats, though. Are you a boat person? Like, I don't like. I like going out on the boat, like on smaller boats, but I've never really felt the need to go on a cruise ship.
I've been on a cruise ship once. It was very small. It wasn't like a Carnival cruise or anything like that. Um, I like small, short trips, like the Babalo boat. I loved going to Babalo
Yeah,
Island, and
I like the Babylon boat too.
yeah,
Good
and
memory.
then pontoons. I love riding in a pontoon,
Mhm.
especially if it has a roof, like a tarp.
I mean, like when I lived in uh, Hillsdale, we had a boat on that Bobby's Lake, and I liked it. But then when we got a speedboat, I don't like the wind in my face. I always had to wear sunglasses because my
Mm.
eyes, it would give me a migraine if it got in my
Oh,
eyes. Yeah. Is anyone else that suffers from migraines? Does that happen to you? Wind gets in your eyes and you get a migraine? It's horrible. Okay, well, anyway, enough about me. Moving on. There is the Bermuda Triangle, but then there is also the Michigan Great Lakes Triangle.
yay! I visited
The
the
Great Lakes
Great
have
Lake.
own
Oh,
Go ahead.
I visited the Great Lakes Maritime Shipwreck Museum up in the UP of Michigan, and that was really cool.
Yeah.
Got to hear about the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah, we did that. We did, what was it? The Great Lakes Whitefish.
Yeah, Whitefish Point.
Yes,
Yep.
Whitefish Point. And we did I was that was when I was really into the investigation, and I asked the lady if there was any hauntings, and she was like, literally didn't answer. She was like, anywho. I was like, oh, well, shut down there. Rosie says, never been on a boat, too scared. Oh, oh. Did something
Well,
Well, Shannon and I were talking about irrational fears, and Shannon, yours is being burned in a fire, and mine's being attacked while I sleep. So I wonder if Rosie had a past life where something happened.
oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I never thought about a past life. I could have.
Oh, I thought that's what we were talking. Oh no, we were talking epigenetics. Sorry.
But past life, that's really that's another
Yeah, that's another.
broadcast.
Yeah, that's another one.
infamous zones of unexplained occurrences: the Michigan Triangle, the Lake Erie Triangle, and the Georgian Bay Triangle. The Michigan
Oh.
Triangle stretches between Manitowoc,
There's a lot of
Wisconsin,
triangles out there.
Ludington, Michigan, and Benton Harbor, Michigan. The Lake
Oh,
Erie
yeah.
Triangle encompasses the eastern portion of Lake Erie, often associated with Native American legends of underwater spirits. The Georgian Bay Triangle in Lake Huron is known for ghost ships and underwater creatures.
Oh.
Reports of compass malfunctions, electronic interference, and sudden changes in weather patterns are common within these zones.
So that is a little introduction on the Great Lakes Triangle. So would you enter the triangle? Would you enter the triangle? Are you going to be afraid to travel over any of these triangles, do you think, Shannon, after we
Um,
talk about these?
I don't think so because many years ago we did we were up in Petoskey and no, it was Manistee. That's where we were, Manistee. And we took a little plane ride like over the coast and over the lake, and it was fun and nothing happened. So I don't think I'd have a problem of it. No.
I remember when I first heard about the Bermuda Triangle, it was like in the 80s, and I think my aunt and uncle were getting ready to go there, and everyone was like, there was a huge conversation about it. And I was just like, why? They just disappear? They never show up again? Where'd they go? I think like it was like an episode of Nova for me right in my home. Like we rarely talked about paranormal stuff. So I was like, what?
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
so I don't know. And I remember too when I was doing the paranormal group, somebody I was working with, we wanted to do like encounters, like paranormal destination encounters, and we talked about doing a Bermuda Triangle one.
Oh,
But and then we started talking about the Michigan Triangle, and I don't know. But I kind of think that it has something to do with the ocean and not really like people disappearing. I think the ocean is pulling things into it. That's what I think.
like,
Like
oh,
I think there's something I don't think it's like a sea creature or anything like that. I think it's something like geologically that we aren't aware of that draws like the comet theory, but something's down there drawing it down into the ocean.
like a giant riptide, like that
Yeah.
pulls.
Like I had heard the gas. I had heard also like I remember watching a Sequest or something where something open. I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like in my mind I can see it, but I can't bring it out and to say what it is because I feel because
Like a
I just
whirlpool?
like a whirlpool. Yes, something like that. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
No, you don't think so?
No, it could be, definitely, absolutely. But
Oh,
that doesn't
because you said
neither.
like, oh, okay. Like,
I was thinking
you
about it,
say
sorry.
so.
Um,
No.
but the thing is, that doesn't explain what happens to planes.
Well, yeah, it would explain because if there's something, well, okay, if there's something energetically pulling things down, like if there's something that can energetically pull things, I
Oh,
don't know.
like magnetically?
Yeah, like the comet, there's something magnetic in the comet, it said, that pulls things in towards it. And I think geologically we haven't explored our earth enough. Like we know crystals, like everyone was like, oh, don't work with the crystals. They're woo 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 crazy. But they're in watches and they do things. Crystals do things. They're
Yeah.
energy. So I just think there's something there that pulls things in. I don't know how to explain.
No, that's a
I'm
very
not
good point.
scientific enough to explain the words that I'm trying to pull out of my
No,
ass.
I totally understand what you mean. Yeah,
Oh, okay. All
I
right.
get it. I
Okay.
get it.
All right. So moving on to the Great Lakes, the legend of the Lake Michigan Triangle.
It's May 21st, 1891. 7 sturdy sailors of strong Wisconsin stock drop a shipment of lumber off in Chicago and then board their ship, the Thomas Hume. They are sailing back to Muskegon to the Hackey Hume lumber mill. Their 3-masted schooner has made the journey several times alongside the lumber company's other ship, the Rouse Simmons. They set off from port and soon foreboding clouds darkened the horizon. "Storm a comin'," says one of the sailors, whose name I like to imagine was Rutherford. The Rouse Simmons crew decided to turn back and return to Chicago to wait for calmer waters. "Poltroons and milksops, all of you," Rutherford calls out after them. "Retreat, hell! As for me and my men, we'll sail for Muskegon." The Thomas Hume sails deep into the heart of Lake Michigan. Muskegon awaits the arrival of the ship. It never comes. No word from the 7 sailors. Hackney and Hume sent out a search vessel offering a steep reward for the ship's discovery. Nothing is found. No reward is claimed. Not a single piece of floating wreckage is left on the water. 21 years passed, and now it's November 22nd, 1912. A world war is on the horizon, and a new generation of sturdy Wisconsin sailors is traversing the Lake Michigan waters. This time, that old fortunate vessel, the Ralph Simmons, is on another run, transporting Christmas trees from Thompson, Michigan to Chicago. Captain Herman Schuneman helps load the boat full of Tannenbaums and invites the Michigan lumberjack to catch a free ride to Chicago with them, if they want it. The crew of 16, along with the extra lumberjacks, sets off into the waters. Again, the ship never arrives at its destination. The ship was spotted sailing in clear conditions with the distressed flag flying. A lifeboat is sent out to provide aid, but when it arrives, there is nothing to find. Again, there is no wreckage. A year later, Christmas trees begin to wash up along the shore. A fisherman in Two Rivers catches Captain Shinneman's wallet a year later. No further trace is discovered. A list of ships is long, and the stories are awash in speculation and misinformation. The Thomas Hume was discovered at the bottom of the lake in 2006 in near perfect condition. The Ralph Simmons was found sunken in 165 feet of water, no sign of what took it down. Both of these shipwrecks, uncharacteristic of the normally placed and easily navigable Lake Michigan, occur within one specific triangle: west to Manitowoc, Wisconsin, east to Ludington, Michigan, and south to Benton Harbor, Michigan. And these are only two wrecks of a much longer list. Even the deadliest open water sinking on the Great Lakes occurred in this triangle. The sinking of the Lady Elgin in 1860. A wooden steamship, the Lady Elgin, collided with a smaller boat, the Augusta, which went on to sail safely to harbor. But the Lady Elgin continued taking on water until it sank, dragging 300 passengers to their deaths.
So why would that be part of the triangle?
I don't know.
Because they ran into it. It said that they ran it. Didn't it just say they
One
collided
steamship collided.
with a smaller boat? So that would be a shipwreck, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Okay,
you'd
sorry.
think that would technically be a shipwreck. I don't think that counts.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think so.
I don't need. Okay, so we're in agreement that doesn't count.
Yes.
Another ship in 1921 set sail with 11 passengers. The Rosabelle is a two-masted schooner used to transport supplies to the Benton Harbor House of David. Yet again, the ship fails to reach its destination, except in this case, the wreck hasn't disappeared. The ship is found floating upside down with no trace of a single passenger. Examining the hull, there appears to be evidence of a collision, but no other vessel is found, and there are no reports of an accident. The Coast Guard determines there was no collision, and the 11 crew members are never found. The list grows. The Carl D. Bradley sinks in 1958 when its hull splits in two, and the Lake Michigan Triangle has been the site of more than just shipwrecks. In 1937, Captain George R. Donner is sailing the O.M. McFarland through the treacherously icy upper Great Lakes. After navigating his crew through the dangerous waters, he retires to his cabin to rest. 58 years old, he is exhausted by the difficult voyage, and as the ship sails through the Lake Michigan Triangle, he shuts the door to his cabin. A few hours later, the ship is nearing its destination, Port Washington, and crew members go to wake him. Their knocks go unanswered. The door is locked from the inside. Eventually, they break down the door and find the cabin empty. The entire ship is searched to no avail. No sign of the captain. No explanation is ever discovered, and the disappearance remains unsolved. On June 20,
off a ship.
yeah, because aren't like portholes like really small?
Yeah,
Like
there's that. Yeah, but are they? I don't know how small they are. I've never actually been in a room with a porthole, I guess.
I've
only been over day trips on a boat. I've never like slept on a boat.
Oh,
have you?
Yeah, I actually took a ferry from France to England.
Oh,
an overnight ferry.
Have I ever slept on a boat? I don't know. I don't think I have.
And then my first marriage, my honeymoon, we took a little 2-day cruise from Norway to Denmark. Oh. So that was an overnight thing. But I don't remember portholes. I don't know. Okay. June 23rd, 1950. Northwest Airlines Flight 2501 is flying from New York City to Seattle with 58 people on board. Over the Lake Michigan Triangle, Captain Robert Lind radios in to request permission to descend to 2,500 feet due to a severe electrical storm and high winds. Permission is denied, and then radar goes dark. No word from the captain, no sign of the plane. Flight 2501 is gone. A search commences. Lake Michigan is dragged for wreckage. As you may have guessed, no wreckage is found. Human remains wash up on the coast in the days following, but the plane itself has disappeared. In the decades since, the wreckage still has never been found, despite a yearly search funded by noted nautical thriller author Clive Cussler and undertaken by the Michigan Shipwreck Research Associates. Explanations abound for this plethora of disappearances and deaths. UFOs, obviously, a theory enlivened by a report of inexplicable bright lights over the lake on the same night as the Flight 2501 disappearance. Paranormal phenomena, time portals, unholy creatures, bad weather, the whims and cruelties of a mocking and malevolent god of old, etc.
I did look up and it said portholes on old cruise ships typically range in size from several inches to over 2 feet in diameter, with the average being around 2 feet, depending on the ship and the cabin location. So
It would have been interesting to know if he had a large porthole in his room.
you can tell we investigate shit.
Yeah.
We're like, how big was it? Okay, go ahead.
But one report is slightly more interesting than the rest. In 2007, archaeology professor Mark Hawley and his colleague Brian Abbott ran a sonar search around the Lake Michigan Triangle in an effort to find shipwrecks. They discovered in about 40 feet of water a line of stones arranged in a pattern reminiscent of Stonehenge. They sent divers to photograph the area and found alongside the line of stones what could be a prehistoric carving of a mastodon, which went extinct over 12,000 years ago. The site has not been authenticated and the exact location remains a secret. Much like Stonehenge, there's little explanation for the carefully arranged underwater stones, what they signify, or who put them there. No definite explanation links the several bizarre incidents that mark this triangle of Lake Michigan, and of course, one can make a rational argument to explain every one of them, but as the coincidences mount and the darkness on the horizon grows closer, there's no denying the eeriness of this particular tale. So perhaps next time you're on the lake, you'll consider staying close to the shore, for as H.P. Lovecraft said, we live on a placid island of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far.
So there are stones underneath the very spot of a mastodon?
There's a stone circle, underwater, and near those they found a carving of a mastodon.
I knew that. I really don't think I knew that. Did you?
I knew that stones were found there. That was something I just learned in the last year. But I didn't know about the mastodon carving.
Huh. Okay, well, here are 3 strange mysteries from the Lake Michigan Triangle.
Video time.
Yeah, I thought we'd take a look at it, 1 or 2 of them. Do you want to look at the Halloween ghost ship? Do you want to look at the what's this one? Sorry, this one's not coming up. We'll do this one.
Okay.
The first to vanish.
Trade on the Great Lakes flourished long before Europeans ever set foot in the area. Indigenous tribes that inhabited the region as far back as 10,000 BC traversed the lakes in large canoes made from hollowed-out trees or bark that measured up to 35 feet or 11 meters in length. But by the mid-1600s, French and other European explorers began establishing tenuous and sometimes fraught trade relationships with the indigenous people in the region that would eventually lead to the decimation of native tribes. One of the first of these explorers was René Robert Cavelier Sieur de La Salle. La Salle came from a well-off family in France, but found his way to North America after falling into near destitution. He was granted a parcel of land on the island of Montreal in the colony of New France. He soon began exploring the region and searching for ways to profit from the abundant natural resources, mainly through fur trading. La Salle established a series of French forts on the Great Lakes. It was clear to him that the traditional lake canoes were far too small to transport the volume of cargo he would need to generate the profits he was searching for, and so he had a 10-ton brigantine built called the Frontenac, named after one of his forts. Almost immediately, La Salle began planning a significantly larger vessel. On November 18, 1678, he sent a party to scout out a site where the new ship could be constructed. An area near the mouth of the Niagara River in western New York was selected, and the men began preparing structures for shelter, storage, and defense. Before construction could begin, the Frontenac was lost on Lake Ontario on January 8, 1679, when she slipped her moorings in a sudden storm. The crewless vessel was carried around 9 miles before breaking up near present-day 30 Mile Point. The loss of the Frontenac was a major setback, but construction on the new vessel carried forward. Her keel was laid down on January 26, 1679. The project was delayed by a lack of supplies and tension with native tribes in the area. Still, the vessel was completed in August of that year. Named Le Griffon, the 45-ton bark measured somewhere between 30.
It must have been horrible having to build stuff back then. Can you imagine?
No, it would have taken forever.
Forever. I've been watching Vikings again and just watching them build their boats. I'm like, geez.
That's funny because I've been watching NCIS and I've been watching Gibbs build his boat in his basement.
Yeah, Loki's building boats right now.
12 meters in length, with a beam between 10 to 15 feet or 3 to 5 meters. She was equipped with 7 cannons and had 1 or 2 masts with square sails. Her exact specifications have been lost to history, but she was by far the largest fixed-rig sailing vessel to traverse the Great Lakes at the time. Once she was completed, La Salle sailed Le Griffon on a treacherous voyage up through Lake Erie, Lake St. Clair, and Lake Huron before finally reaching Lake Michigan. The sight of the giant ship elicited a great deal of excitement and curiosity from the indigenous people in the area, and they were frequently surrounded by canoes filled with people eager to get a closer look. By mid-September, La Salle landed at what's now known as Washington Island, but was then known as Potawatomi Island at the entrance of Green Bay. There they were greeted by a number of Potawatomi tribesmen. Their chief, Onanguise, was already familiar with La Salle, and the two were said to have a great deal of respect for one another. The Potawatomi had a good relationship with the French. They traded 12,000 pounds of fur for European goods, including fishhooks, guns, gunpowder, knives, kettles, various other tools, beads, and clothing. La Salle was very pleased with the expedition. Le Griffon was packed with valuable furs that were sure to grant a considerable profit, and his relationship with the Potawatomi promised a mutually beneficial trading partnership. On September 18, 1679, Le Griffon departed Washington Island with a crew of 6 bound for Niagara. La Salle decided to remain in the area with a small crew to further explore along the coast of Lake Michigan. The weather was calm as Le Griffon sailed away. Her crew fired a single farewell cannon shot, and soon they disappeared on the horizon. The vessel and her men were never seen again. Accounts of what might have happened to Le Griffon and her small crew vary widely. Some, including La Salle, stated in their writings that the ship was probably lost in a storm that hit the area not long after the ship departed. The crew were said to have ignored warnings from the Potawatomi that the winds were about to change. It's easy to imagine that the ship would have been quickly overtaken while caught in a violent storm on treacherous waters that her crew were completely unfamiliar with. But other theories suggest a more human cause. Some think that the ship and her small crew might have been overtaken by other, more hostile tribes. Fragments of a contradictory letter from La Salle suggest that this might have been their fate, but the letter's accuracy is unknown. Others believe the ship's crew might have scuttled the ships themselves on purpose and stolen the valuable furs. In the end, no one knows for sure. Le Griffon is widely considered to be the first ship lost on the Great Lakes. Over the years, a number of searchers have claimed to find her wreck, but as of the making of this video, discoveries have been proven to be Le Griffon. Her ultimate fate seems forever lost to time. It would be more than 80 years after Le Griffon before another sailing ship would enter the Great Lakes and commercial shipping would be established, forever changing the area and facilitating European settlement. While the Potawatomi saw a brief period of good relations with the French, they would eventually also fall victim to westward expansion.
Okay, so it's just another example of a ship that went missing. It ties right into this. When I was looking up, I found this video on the hidden dangers in the Great Lakes.
Yeah, since 2010, more than 600 people have drowned in the Great Lakes, and Jamie Ratcliffe was almost one of them.
But he did survive, and now he's determined to make sure others do too. Dr. Frank McGeorge has his story.
In Michigan, we take it for granted that water is never far away. But when it comes to one aspect of water safety, most Michiganders are frankly clueless, and it's costing lives. Jamie Ratcliffe is determined to change that. It was the summer of 2012. Jamie Ratcliffe had gone up north to get away.
Went farther up to Leland, fish town, one of my favorite places.
It was windy, but
there's other people out there. It's a beautiful sunny day. Just gonna splash in the waves a little bit, and it felt great. I realized after a while the water's kind of up my waist and it's up to my chest, and I realized I better start heading back in.
But he can't. He keeps getting pushed back out from the shore. Jamie suddenly realizes he's caught in a rip current.
So I knew not to try to fight it. I knew to try to swim to the side. I even instinctively flipped over onto my back, but the waves were just huge. They were 4 and 5 feet tall every 5 and 6 seconds. I tried to wave and I just sink, and I just got into this rhythm of getting knocked down by a wave, pounded down to the bottom, come back up, take a quick breath, try to yell, bam, get knocked down again. And after a while, I got really, really tired. And then I came to this realization that I'm not gonna get out of this. This is how I'm gonna die. I thought, I'm just gonna have to go down once more and take a breath underwater and hope that it's quick and painless. And then everything went dark. Felt like I was being carried. And I heard these muffled voices, and they were asking me if I'm okay. And I'm asking them, am I dead? And it's like, no, you're okay. You're on the beach.
Two strangers heard Jamie yelling. They took a kayak from a nearby cottage and had come to his rescue.
Got to me at the last second as I was going down for the last time.
But Jamie was devastated to learn, about an hour after he was saved, a 16-year-old boy was caught in the same rip current and drowned.
And that really hit me hard. And I thought, why me? Why was I saved? Why not this poor boy who had his whole life ahead of him?
He decided to channel his efforts.
So I think a lot of it is the rip tide, the rip currents, stuff that pulling them down.
Yeah, I agree.
So moving on, there is another one called The Unexplained Mystery, the Devil's Sea, the Dragon's Triangle. And we're going to look at a quick video for this one.
Cool.
Long ago, Japanese sailors gave this region a chilling name, Manaomi, the Devil's Sea. Japanese legends tell of unknown forces that overpower the strongest of ships, and great sea monsters that drag sailors to their death. Today, the legend of sea monsters may have faded, but Japanese fishermen still fear the Devil's Sea, even as its rich bounty draws them to risk their lives.
A Devil's Sea is also an abundant sea. Fish always cluster here. These seas are very different from other places. Waves change quickly and unpredictably. So if you're relaxed on a boat in these places, you will get into trouble.
So we're going to take a quick look at the Devil's Sea, the Dragon's Triangle, also called the Dragon's Triangle. Several places in the world are eerie with unexplainable events and observations. Most call them haunted, while others look for scientific explanation. Located near the Japanese coast in the Pacific Ocean, the Devil's Sea. I'm not even going to try to say it. Can you speak Japanese, Shannon?
No, wait. I have to look and see. I might be able to pronounce it.
I'm sure it's just Mei no Umi in Japanese is one of the 12 vile vortexes around the Earth. Vile vortexes are those areas where the pull of the planet's electromagnetic waves is stronger than anywhere else. As the title indicates, the Dragon's Triangle extends as a triangle between Japan and the islands of Bonin, including, is that how you say that? Bonin? including a major portion of the Philippine Sea. Geographically, the triangle is located around Miyake, a Japanese island that lies 100 kilometers south of Tokyo. However, the exact location of the Devil's Sea is disputed. And with the Devil's Sea, there's also, we're going to skip forward and go back, and there is the Alaska one. So the Devil's one is just another one where, boats and planes are being dragged down. But I wanted to take a look at the Alaska one because somebody asked, have you heard of the Alaska Triangle? If so, is it like the Bermuda Triangle? And I thought this was interesting. And this person said, no, I haven't. After looking it up, no, it's not like the Bermuda Triangle. For starters, the Bermuda Triangle is almost equilateral. The Alaska Triangle is far from equilateral. It looks more or less isosceles, though. The Bermuda Triangle is 1.3 million. The Alaskan Triangle is 650,000 kilometers, so roughly half smaller. I expect the Alaska sees far less traffic than the North Atlantic Ocean, and particularly by boats, but a lot more of land traffic. Furthermore, the climate and the environment are notoriously unfriendly in the area, and it has, and it still does attract many adventurers looking for mythological animals or extreme north exploration. As such, I believe that the rate of disappearances in that area does not statistically deviate from what's expected. Had you heard about the Alaskan Triangle?
I had not, but by the map, it looks like it's mostly on land.
Yeah, it does look like it's on land, so it's slightly different. It's not over the water, but it touches the water, though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we would go over this triangle to wrap things up.
Sure.
This one?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Yep. You'll have to scroll it up for me, please. There we go. The Alaska Triangle, sometimes called Alaska's Bermuda Triangle, is a place in the untouched wilderness of the frontier state, where mystery lingers and people go missing at a very high rate. The Alaska Triangle connects the state's largest city of Anchorage in the south to Juneau in the southeast panhandle to Barrow, a small town on the state's north coast. Here is some of North America's most unforgiving wilderness. The area began attracting public attention in October 1972 when a small private plane carrying U.S. House Majority Leader Hale Boggs, Alaska Congressman Nick Begich, an aide, Russell Brown, and their bush pilot, Don Johns, seemingly vanished into thin air while flying from Anchorage to Juneau. For over a month, 50 civilian planes and 40 military aircraft, plus dozens of boats, covered a search area of 32,000 square miles. But no trace of the plane, the men, wreckage, or debris was ever found. Afterward, more planes went down, hikers went missing, and Alaskan residents and tourists seemed to vanish into thin air. In fact, since 1988, more than 16,000 people have disappeared in the Alaska Triangle, with a missing person rate of more than twice the national average. Wow.
But there is this whole indigenous missing person thing that's happening where we just don't even care that they're missing, and they go missing all the time. So does that play? I mean, I have to think that that would play into the national average. But anyway.
Yeah, you got a point there. I mean, do you think they're just getting eaten by bears?
Well, yeah, wildlife probably, but also people are kidnapping them and doing what I mean. Alaska is like the wild west, basically, I think. And the native people, nobody cares that they're missing. They go missing, and it's really bad. There's a whole national movement to help indigenous women. They're like the highest rate of people going missing. So,
oh wow,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Do I need
sounds
to, did you
that
finish?
sounds man-made.
Yeah.
You want me to keep reading?
Yeah. Go ahead.
In any given year, 500 to 2,000 people go missing in Alaska, never to be seen again. Authorities conduct hundreds of rescue missions and often return without finding the missing person or evidence. These disappearances are blamed on everything from severe weather to aliens, swirling energy vortexes, and an evil shape-shifting demon of Tlingit Indian lore called Kushtaka. But the most likely explanation for these many missing people is the wilderness itself. This area has dense forests, craggy mountain peaks, massive glaciers, hidden caves, and deep crevices where downed aircraft or lost hikers might easily be hidden and then covered by snowfall, hiding any trace of human activity. This harsh landscape is also filled with wild animals and is subject to unforgiving weather, including avalanches.
So, yeah, so missing and murdered Indigenous people crisis. It's like a crisis happening. And I've been wanting to talk to some Native Americans about this, and I've come close. I've had people say yes, but Native Americans don't trust us. They don't want to talk about it because we're like letting it happen, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it doesn't get reported, how do we know?
It does get reported, but they don't go searching, or they say they were a runaway, or something like that. So it just doesn't get the attention that it doesn't get the attention. So.
All right. Whoops.
More than half of the nations, isn't that where you're at?
Yeah, I just got a little
Did I get ahead of you?
Nope, I was trying to scroll in and it didn't work.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought I got ahead of you. Okay.
More than half of the nation's federally designated wilderness lies in Alaska, and many of the permanent disappearances are linked to dangerous natural elements. Alaska is bound by 33,000 miles of coastline and contains more than 3 million lakes, untamed wildlife, and winters that blanket vast reaches of the state in snow and ice. However, many support the idea of energy vortexes within the triangle. Energy vortexes are considered swirling centers of energy concentrated in specific places where the energy crackles most intensely. The energy radiates in a spiraling cone shape clockwise or counterclockwise, creating positive and negative effects. They are thought to affect humans physically, mentally, and emotionally. Positive vortexes spiral upward in a clockwise motion, enhancing energy flow. This type is conducive to healing, meditation, creativity, and self exploration. People actively search these places to feel inspired, recharged, or uplifted. Positive vortexes are said to exist in the Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, the Sedona Desert, and sacred temples and cathedrals worldwide. Alternately, negative vortex spiral downward counterclockwise, creating a draining or depleting energy and depleting the positive energies in its vicinity. In humans, they are believed to cause health problems, including depression, nightmares, disorientation, confusion, and both visual and auditory hallucinations. They are also said to cause electrical instruments to malfunction. Some places that are said to be filled with negative vortexes are the Bermuda Triangle, Japan's Devil's Sea, and Easter Island. Ooh, Easter Island.
Yeah, I didn't know Easter Island was part of it too.
I had no idea either. That's weird.
They're just all over the place. There's also one here supposedly in the Sargasso Sea. So I mean, they're just everywhere. I had no idea until I started researching this that they were just everywhere.
Wow. That's crazy.
I wish I knew what they were, though, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And I wish I knew, like, I thought all standing stone circles were positive, but the one that's in the Great Lakes, I mean, if that's in a negative vortex, I don't know.
Serpent Mound, Jenica says. Oh yes, there's the Serpent Mound. In my art history class in college, we think that's in Ohio. There's a Serpent Mound in Ohio. Maybe one in Kentucky too. There's a few serpent mounds out there.
What is that?
It's like, like it's a bunch of stones put together that looks like a serpent.
Oh,
here, let me show you. Wait, that's not it. Yeah, it is in Ohio. So, no pictures. Sorry.
and what are they supposed to do?
It's like a vortex place.
Oh,
like it's they planted something, and it's like a mound. See? They planted it up so that it's a mound.
okay, all right. And these are places that people go and visit?
Yeah, they're energy places, vortexes.
Well, I'll have to check into that Ohio one. That might be interesting to go see.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go see it, but I never have. So I don't know. It could be something that we cover too if you want to.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah. Sounds
There.
great.
Sorry, I thought I had that up on the stage here.
Oh, oh, that's what it looks like? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely.
Something mysterious that the ancients did, that they knew it was something powerful. And yeah.
Definitely have to check that out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Jetica says some of them disappear. Yeah, sometimes vortexes do disappear, and I mean, but are always spinning, so it seems like they would disappear. I don't know. Sometimes, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, obviously. I've said that over and over again. I wish I was smarter than I am. I really do. I just wish that I had picked smarter genetics or something. I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah, a ley line or swamp gas.
Weather balloon.
Or weather balloon, yes. Well, that's all I have for tonight. Did you have anything else you wanted to share?
I did not, Amy. No. That was a good broadcast.
Yes, it was. It was a lot of fun. It's very interesting. This whole vortex thing fascinates me. And I think Earth, there's so much more to Earth than we know. And we put such limitations because of our religious beliefs on what Earth can do. That's sad.
I agree. Just because we don't understand how something comes to be doesn't mean that it's
I was watching this YouTuber, and she's like really heavily into, she used to like do yoga and like more Eastern practices, and now she's very highly Christian, and she like condemns all that, saying, she was doing satanic stuff and it was all bad and it was all horrible. And but I heard her say the other day, she goes, sorry, hold on a second, I got a cough. She said something. She was going through, like, her mother had has the cancer, and she was going through different healing modalities with her, and she's like, and we're taking those crystals back from the New Agers because we're figuring out those crystals mean something. And I was like, you're taking them back? What do you mean? From you were the ones. There were pamphlets at my mom's church that told them how to talk to people that had crystals. I was just like, literally, there are pamphlets at a church that tells people how to talk to people about crystals. I'm like,
wow.
Oh, anyway. So I think there's more to the Earth than.
Oh, absolutely.
On, so.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that the world's opening up to it, even if they closed for a while.
Well, it might be closing back up now. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll wait. Oh, well, you know what? I'm taking this time as an adventurous time. The world needs to change. So change is happening. Change is scary, but change is good. So I'm just taking it as that. I'm just going with it. Change is change. So, yep.
All right.
And I'm not going to be afraid.
Good. I think we all should take that to heart.
Let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
So 4 years. Okay. So, all right, Shannon.
All right.
It's so good to talk to you again.
No, absolutely. Now I'm off to have a gummy and chill out for the rest of the evening.
Woohoo! I'm microdosing tonight.
Nice.
I love microdosing. It's like I've decided I'm going to start. I'm going to do a video on microdosing and how it's changed me, the way I think and the way I feel, and yeah.
Well, that would be interesting. I'd love to watch it. So I hope you do.
Would you? Okay. Yeah. I think I'm going to put it over on Feel Good University. I'm going to start doing some feel good stuff over there. And as soon as we can get your thing situated, we'll be going over to your page. And yeah. So
nice.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
All
honey.
right. Well, bye, everyone. Bye, Amy.
Bye. Okay, guys, thank you for being here. If you would like us to cover something, be sure to email me at parawomanradio@gmail.com for a show topic. Just put the topic in the title, and Shannon and I will try to cover it for you. Okay? Okay, guys, I'm going to go. If it's on a ley line. Oh, the Serpent Mound is on a ley line. I didn't know that. Ley lines are other things that are very interesting that draw UFO activity. But that's another show topic. So anyway, guys, if nobody's told you this today, and even if they have, I'm still going to tell you this. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Carefully strumming this old guitar, words rolling out into the fire. Never ask why my heart burned blue. Here in the haze where you inspire me. Here in the darkness I hear my cue. Time to find some solitude. Here where my soul bleeds openly. Deep in the heart